Do you want to start performing, or are you going to perform for the very first time, but you're scared to death? Well, stage fright sucks. I get it, really, I do. And that is why I'm gonna hold your hand while saying the hard truth. It only gets better by doing it many, many times, which obviously isn't what you want to hear. But that is why I'm gonna give you some reasons why I think you should still do it. And yes, I will be showing some footage of me messing up on stage to make you feel better. And hopefully it'll also make you a bit more excited to brave the stage. My name is Karen, and welcome to my channel where I talk about becoming a musician and a songwriter. So why do we get so nervous in front of other people? The answer is quite simple. We fear being judged by others, and we fear being rejected by them. When performing on a stage, whether it's singing or acting or playing an instrument, we put ourselves in a very vulnerable position to be perceived and judged by others. So that's obviously very scary. Before my first few performances, I would think things like, what if I make a mistake? What if I suck and they think I don't deserve to be up here? What if they see that I'm a fraud? And especially that last one is one that's very common in my own mind. Luckily, I've never had anyone say that to my face, but I have heard something similar being said to somebody else though. One time I was at a recital where I was performing as well, and there was this girl who played two pretty difficult piano pieces. I could see that she was nervous and her hands were shaking, and during the performance, she made a few tiny mistakes. But even then, she kept playing, which by the way, in itself, is already an incredible achievement. A lot of people get thrown off or completely stop playing, but she kept going. Then when she was done, she stood up and the whole room applauded. She walked back to her seat and I was sitting behind her and her mum. She sat down and her mum said, "Well, I did mess up a few times." And I'm sorry, but who does that? Who says that? I regret not saying anything at the time, but it did make me think. In that moment, her fear, and probably the reason why she was nervous in the first place, came true, which is awful. But I think the people who vocally judge other people are the ones that fear being judged and fear being rejected the most. Because they see their biggest fear playing out in front of them on stage, so it's easy for them to criticize as a coping mechanism. If something like this has ever happened to you, I am so sorry. But just know that it's a reflection of the person who made that mean comment and not a reflection of you. Because what I've noticed is that no person who actually feels confident and sure about themselves judges another person for trying. They are the ones that applaud and support and don't feel threatened or confronted when someone else is on stage. So keep that in mind when somebody judges you out loud. They're just insecure. Honestly, your first performance is most likely gonna suck. And that's okay. I'm still trying not to get nervous sweats simply thinking about a performance that's still weeks or even months away, or happened when I was 8. I performed a song that I wrote myself for the first time about a year ago. It was at the recital of the music school that I go to for piano and songwriting lessons. My teacher had encouraged me to partake in it, and I'm glad that she did, even though at the time it felt like a mess. Weeks before the recital, I was practicing every single day, but even during practice, my palms would get sweaty, my heart would start racing, and I was just thinking to myself, if I'm already nervous now, I'm gonna faint during the recital. Now, I did not faint, but I was shaking so badly that I literally couldn't see straight. And though I am a bit of an oversharer, sharing the thoughts and emotions that I had put in this song live in front of people was a new kind of terrifying. The biggest mistake I made for my first performance was setting my own expectations way too high. I thought that I had to do this very first performance perfectly, otherwise I wasn't cut out to be an artist, which is an insurmountable pressure that I put on myself. If I had accepted beforehand that the first time wasn't gonna go perfectly, I would have saved myself a lot of stress, and maybe the room and the piano keys wouldn't have swam before my eyes as I tried to focus, or maybe they would have, I don't know. Either way, I should have been kinder to myself, and even just be proud to try to overcome that fear, because getting up on that stage and playing the whole song through was an achievement of its own. These are the things that I should have told myself, and which is why I'm telling you now. Don't be too hard on yourself. You don't have to do it perfectly, especially the first time.
Dear Rosie, I'd dance all night with you if I could. If only I didn't have other things to do. You roll your eyes, that's what you always say. Rosie, 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 I know the look you give me. I share good guts to ask for what I'm not deserving of.
This video wouldn't be complete without a little tea break. I'm so excited that it's finally fall. To me, September feels more like the start of a new year than New Year's does. Probably because it's the start of the new school year. Even though I don't go to school anymore, it still feels like a new beginning with new opportunities. I'm also super excited for this fall in particular because my birthday is in November and this year it's gonna be my 28th birthday on the 28th, so it's extra special to me. I'm also making good progress with the sweater that I started in August, so I'll be able to wear it this fall. Something happened that really put my stage fright into perspective. Last June, I went paragliding with my dad in Annecy, France for the first time. And you might wonder, what does paragliding have to do with stage fright? Well, you'd assume that jumping off a mountain with a random guy strapped to your back and just a few strings tying you to a piece of fabric would instill greater fear than performing on a stage. And I'll admit, I was a bit nervous, but nothing is as scary as getting up on a stage and performing the songs you wrote in front of other people. When we were in the car going up the mountain, there was even a moment where I thought, if something goes wrong, this could very well be the day that I die. And even that thought didn't scare me as much as that very first recital did. I, of course, did not die, and I actually had a lot of fun hanging like 1,500 meters high in the sky. I also realized how lucky I am that I got to have that experience. The end of school year recital was about a month later, and this time I felt much calmer. The idea that it's literally less scary to jump off a mountain than to perform live in front of people really put things in perspective. And even though it wasn't a perfect performance, I, for the first time, actually had fun. I felt relaxed. I didn't freak out when I made a little mistake on the guitar. And afterwards, when I sat down again, instead of thinking, thank God it's over, I thought, I want to go again.
Rosie, I'd dance all night with you if I could. If only I couldn't have other things to do. You roll your eyes, that's what you always say. What do I need to do to make you want to stay?
For a while, I'd started to think that performing just wasn't for me. But it turns out that I just had to break through the fear. And if I hadn't done it the first few times while being terrified to the bone, I never would have experienced having fun performing. So the next time that I want to do something that scares me, I'll just do it scared. I might even do it crying, but I am going to do it. Because if I'd still let fear decide my actions, I wouldn't have even started this YouTube channel. And I'm so glad that I did, because I'm learning so much. Getting up on that stage, even if your performance doesn't go the way you want it to, is already an amazing achievement. So go do the thing you're scared to do. Be kind to yourself about it, and who knows, maybe you'll fall in love with performing after all. I'm not a confident performer yet, but I'm excited to see how I might change over the years if I keep trying. I hope you feel a bit more motivated and excited to put yourself out there. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't yet, please subscribe. And yeah, have a lovely day, and I'll hope to see you in the next video. Stay hydrated, bye!